Hello, race fans. Welcome to Texas. We're here with the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network, Tuesday Night Thunder Trucks at Texas. My name is Jerry Isaacs. As always, I am here with Cody Richardson. Cody, just spent the week in Vegas. How you feeling about Vegas?
Much prefer Texas to Vegas. Vegas, lost all my money in the casino, lost all my money at the track, and broke a few cars. So glad to see us here at Texas tonight. Hopefully, putting on a good race with these trucks out here.
Yeah, anything beats Vegas, right?
Absolutely.
We are halfway through the season. We've got, I think, 32, 34 trucks out here tonight. How are we doing on that playoff outlook? Well, tell us about the track and the race tonight first. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine, Jerry. We are here, Fort Worth, Texas, at the Texas Motor Speedway. It's a hot one out there today, 79 degrees in the air, but the track's 129 degrees. It's going to be a hot, slick track out there tonight. Texas, traditional quad oval here, turns 1 and 2 wide and flat at 20 degrees of banking, 3 and 4, a little bit steeper banking at 24 degrees. But it's really going to be a single lane track. There's not a whole lot of room you can go anywhere else. You can try to work the middle lane, maybe a half a lane up or so in turns 3 and 4, but you're not really going to be able to do much about that in 1 and 2. You're going to have to hit that one line and go for it. We've got 90 laps of racing for you guys out here tonight. They can make it about 28 to 30 laps on a fuel run. I've heard 30 is going to be pushing a little bit, have to save a little bit, but they've got plenty of tires for the race. 4 extra sets over the wall, plus the set that they start on to make 5 total sets for this 90 lap race here.
Five
Now I know
sets
you
of
mentioned the
tires.
playoff. Yeah, 5 sets of
That's
tires. They're
awesome. We get to
gonna
see
have
some
some
strategy.
strategy options. Hopefully, well, I mean, honestly, I hope it goes green, Jerry. But barring that,
Fair
maybe we'll
enough.
see some strategy, saving some tires at the end. Maybe not. Maybe 2. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I think we started the season and you barely had enough tires to make it through. We didn't see any strategy. I'm with you. After last week's, let's call it a fiasco, I am hoping we don't see a yellow flag tonight. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but I think that extra tires does add a lot of opportunity for strategy.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now I know you mentioned the playoff picture, so we come in here. Carter Lawson, the guy who says he can't drive, is still leading the playoffs or the point standings right now with 190 points. Mike Stiverson right behind him with 184, and then you've got a big gap, a 21-point gap to the rest of the field behind them. Carter and Mike have been driving away with it this year, but Kyle Nadeau, Gary Bowman, Steven Music, Brian Dorsey, Chris Harefield, and William Kern are currently your top 8 there, but it's tight in those points all the way back. And William Kern is sitting at 146 points. He's only 5 points behind 5th place Steven Music and only 5 points ahead of 10th place Chris Dorsey. So it is a tight points battle there around the cutoff area for these playoffs. Look to see that. People are going to be looking for them points come the end of the year.
Absolutely. It halfway through. Now's the time when we'll see who's consistent, who can rack out points each and every race. That's what they really need in the long run to make that playoff run. I don't know. Some people view it differently. They view every race as I have to win. I always view the first goal at the beginning of the season is just to make the playoffs.
Well, not only that, but have to win is fine, but you have to also realize if you don't have the truck for it, you don't have the truck for it. There's a lot to be said when a driver can understand that, hey, I've only got a 5th place truck here today, and go and finish in 5th instead of trying to push too hard to get a win and end up damaging your vehicle and not do any good at all. You know what they say, to finish first you must finish.
Absolutely. I find that I'm pretty decent at finishing, just not finishing first. But priorities, man, got to finish before you can finish first.
Exactly. And Jerry, you've gotten a lot better over these years. Your day is coming soon, and I believe you do have some wins in these series. So
Oh, a couple of wins here and there. Absolutely. Hey, qualifying is getting ready to wrap up here pretty soon, and then we'll have these trucks on the track. We have 35. I didn't see Carter earlier in practice. He's on track now, just did his qualifying. 27th, I believe, is where he's going to fall. I have to feel he's not quite happy with that. But like I say, I didn't see him here for much of practice. So he should have plenty of time to make his way to the front as the race goes on. And as I recall, he's always one that's always started a little more towards the back.
Yeah, sometimes people don't have that one lap speed that you need to qualify up front, but usually the ones that don't have one lap speed have some pretty good long run speed in these trucks. Again, like we've said every week, this is going to be about keeping that right front tire on and keeping what you can, maintaining that momentum through these wide sweeping corners, and hopefully move up through the field.
Well, we with a one-lane track, I think. Let's talk about that yellow situation. What do you think the over/under is tonight on yellows?
I'm going to say that the over under here tonight is going to be a lot less than it was the other day. I think 1.5 is going to be our number here. 1.5.
I'm going to take the over. I think the number is 2 tonight.
You think so? I disagree. I honestly think that we're not going to see any yellows at all. I think they got a little bit of a talking to the drivers did last week about Bristol. Hopefully we don't have that again, and we can go caution free this race tonight.
I'm looking forward to that. That truck is there getting ready to line up. Let's go down your qualifying order. Kyle Nadeau is first on the board. He will lead us out, followed by Jason Higginbotham, Eric Anderson, John Ross in fourth. Third row is Mike Stiverson, Garrett Johnston, Connor Hazel, Gary Bowman, Cody Meadows in ninth, and Judd Danielson in 10th.
Yeah, Ray Richer starts in 11th here, Dusty Martin 12th, William Kern in 13th, Crank Bell in 14th, Andy Cork 15th, Chris Dorsey in 16th, Daniel Coblentz in 17th, Brian Dorsey in 18th, Nathan Dufton in 19th, and Mike Donahue rounds out your top 20.
Jonathan Ellis, 21, Philip Van Leet, 22, Leroy Coblentz, part of the Coblentz family racing, 23rd, Alan Ayers, in 24th, Craig Schroeder, Doug Wysocki, Carter Lawson, 27th, Kevin Fetty, Justin Horton, and Chris Letts in 30th.
George Cushman rolls off 31st today, Stephen Music 32nd, Dave Gameforth 33rd, Chris Harefield 34th, and as always, the man who does not like to qualify and likes to come through this field, Paul Turner in 35th.
They are rolling out of pit lane and getting ready to start 90 laps of racing. I think we're going to see, I think we're going to see some 2 wide, couple 3 wide, first 5 laps. I think it's going to settle down for, I'm going to say 10 to 15 laps, and I think we're going to see who saved tires and who didn't. What do you think?
I agree. I don't think we're going to see 2 or 3 wide for that long, though. This track is so single lane. I think the bottom is so dominant, you're going to see people rushing to get there and hoping that they can get there as soon as they can.
90 laps is a lot of laps for these trucks here. I think that patience is going to win out tonight and saving that right front tire, something we're all trying to get better at. We're going to see who's been practicing. I didn't see a lot of people practicing pit entrance. So I think green flag pits is going to be important.
That, as it always is, Jerry, it is going to be extremely important. And we'll get to see who made that practice off the track here and who's going to come out good.
Pace car turns off. Kyle's making his way to the start finish. He's got a pretty decent start.
Yeah, green flag's out. He's got a pretty decent start, but the outside lane's going to have 3 trucks pushing on the outside here. They're still side by side going into turn 1, but that bottom lane is going to be where it's at. We'll see if Jason Higginbotham can carry that momentum. Oh, there's going to be a wreck behind him in turn 1. Caution's out on the racetrack here. Jerry, looks like my over-under might be busted already here.
Yeah, it's a little early to whip out that yellow flag. Let's see if we can see what happened here. We'll back it up a little bit.
Yeah, looks like, I'm not sure.
Here we go. That's some net code. None. I think the 99 had a bunch of net code there. Let me back it up again. Watch the 99. You'll see he comes down just a little bit. Whoop. Just a little bit, and then
it looks like maybe a little bit loose beforehand there.
Let me get here.
Looks like John Ross might be a little bit loose before we get in there. And then, yeah, let's see. So he's a little loose right there. He's out of the gas, and it just comes back up the racetrack, and then some net code net code with Garrett behind him there, gets him spun, but I think they were going to make contact anyway.
Yeah, I think that you're right. I think you're right. John was just a little loose there. A lot of damage to that 88 and the 99.
Yeah, you could see the fire come out of the exhaust pipes as he lifted there while it was sliding a little bit sideways. Like I said, this outside lane here has no grip at all. A lot like real life, this track is single lane dominant, really. Like there's nothing else you can do about it, you know?
Yeah.
So
Just going to be a lot of damage to that 99, though, in the 88.
Yeah, John Ross is in the pits. Look at, there we go. 88 is going in the pits now. So John must have towed. Looks like we've actually got several cars. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or so that are going in pits. I'm going to say they're going to top off. So we talked about 30 laps was stretching it just a little bit. I think we've got some guys that were towards the back that are going to go ahead, top off on fuel, probably not take tires so that they'll be good for the race.
Yeah, I agree. That seems like what's happening here. It's not a bad call if you're already in the back anyway. I wouldn't give up too much track position for it, but if you're already back there, you might as well.
So I'm going to assume, let's go into Kyle's cockpit here. I'm assuming, oh yeah, I can't tell if he's coasting, but he's certainly clutching.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Kyle knows what's up with this. You know, he's done pretty good at saving fuel before. He's won a couple fuel mileage races. Texas can easily turn into a fuel mileage race as wide and sweeping as these corners are. But he's going to take the inside he called out on this next restart here. Looks like Carter kind of got caught by that iRacing bug where he's scored as a lap down whenever he's not really a lap down. He'll take the wave around, it looks like here, start back of the field. Last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think, I was going to talk to our viewers out there. We're showing the 98 in front. He is actually a wave around car. Kyle will be your leader on the restart. So 1 lap down, 1 caution. Well, we got 4 laps down. 4 laps down, half a lap of green flag racing. I think that was a one-off. I'm still going to hold with my 2.
Well, I mean, I've already busted my no cautions at all, so I mean, I still think we're under though. Like I just feel like that's going to be what happens tonight. I don't think we're going to have another one from here, Jerry. I'm putting my money on that.
All right. Well, I think we've got one more coming. I think it's going to come later in the race. I don't think it'll be a quick one. I think somebody's going to get their right front tire pretty worn, hit the wall, maybe cause a little calamity. So we'll see what our prediction skills are like and how much we want to bet on sports this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be the thing. This will set the tone for how my week's going to go betting wise, I think.
And it's Tuesday, man. We got a long week to go.
Yeah.
Kyle's going to
back. Yeah.
Kyle's going to take the bottom. I think here you'll probably see him taking the bottom all night. In terms of the leader, he does have choice. He's going to take the bottom. We should see the truck pull off and get a green flag going here.
Yeah, looks like Pace Truck finally made that hard left-hand turn down pit road as they make their way to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is going to be back in the air. Outside lane got a pretty good jump. They're going to be side by side coming to the line, stacking up a little bit behind everybody. Their front 2 rows got away clean, and a little bit of stack up behind everybody there. They're still side by side going into turn 1 here. Kyle's going to try to hug that bottom. Jason's right at this quarter panel. He's not going to be able to clear him. Still side by side down the backstretch.
Kyle's got a little bit of a lead here, but the 144's got momentum. Jason Higginbotham takes him to the front. Kyle trying to use the shorter way around the track, gets the lead here. Jason's still going to have momentum coming out of the corner.
Yeah, has a little bit of momentum, but the 43 was able to get underneath him there, is going to make a run of the leader. Kyle leads that first green flag lap of racing, and it looks like Eric Anderson in the 43 is going to be able to clear Higginbotham for second place here and go to work on Kyle now in the lead.
Eric Anderson pulling into second place. Usually he's one to kind of lay back a little bit. Used to be one of those guys who didn't qualify. It's nice to see him qualify strong, come out here, be a little bit of aggressive, and take over that second place position.
Absolutely. Kyle washed up a little bit there. Eric's going to have a bit of a run as the top 6 cars are single filed out. Your first side-by-side action is going to be in 7th place right now. Kyle's able to maintain that lead, though, and take that bottom line. Eric's going to now wash up in 1 and 2. Kyle's going to have a 4 truck length gap over second place as the exit of 2.
Ray Richer was on the outside trying to find his way to the inside, too wide. He's Cody Meadows going to the inside trying to make a move for 5th place. Looks like he's not able to make that move, but Ray goes to the outside to try and pass Cody on the outside.
Yeah, he's able to get a little bit of momentum there, but that bottom lane just has so much grip. Cody's able to clear him going into 1 as we have a side-by-side battle for the lead. Eric Anderson is going to be side-by-side with Kyle, who's trying to get a run off of turn 2 on the high line. He's going to be able to do it. Higginbotham now side-by-side with Eric Anderson for 2nd. We'll see if Eric can throw it into turn 3 here. He does and maintains that position alongside the bottom of Kyle. That's going to cost Kyle the lead, I do believe, and Eric's going to have a good run to the line. And mark Eric Anderson, the 43, is your new leader.
Once again, awesome to see him making those moves. He's now clear of Kyle. Let's see if Kyle pulls in. He's been running a little bit higher up. I don't know if he got pushed outside or if he was trying to make that outside line work. He follows in line behind Eric.
3 wide behind them off of the corner. There was a little bit of contact between the 29 and the 35 there. Sorry for interrupting you, Jerry, but we had some 3 wide going with Crank on the bottom off of the exit of turn 2. They sorted it out, though, with just a little bit of touching between the trucks.
Crank on the bottom, 3 wide, not surprising. He's up 3 spots into 11th place already. That's Crank. He wants to make moves early and try and get towards the front. Seeing lots of side-by-side action and not single-filed out yet.
Yeah, they single file out for a lap or 2. It looks like 1 or 2 trucks will get a run and take it instead of just trying to shove the truck behind him. Eric Anderson's now out to a 3-truck length lead as Higginbotham is able to get to the inside of Kyle and take away that 2nd place on the exit of 4. Top 4 single file with some side-by-side action behind him here.
Mike Stiverson in 5th. He's battling for 4th, 5th place on the inside of Connor Hazel. He's got the inside line behind Kyle. He should be able to make that stick, although Connor's got the draft. Kyle's going to come down and give Mike a little bit of draft help on the bottom.
Yeah, it looks like he's now single file here. Kyle just seems to be struggling a little bit there. Can't run anything on the outside, but can't get any momentum. Doesn't seem to have any speed on the inside. I don't know if he's just trying to save a little bit of tire for later in the run or if maybe his truck's just not handling that good right now. But the top 6 are now single file and a big gaggle of trucks there with Crank looking 3 wide. It's just going to stick with a 35 on the high side and then get taken 3 wide now, top of 3. 31 backs out of it, doesn't want to go into turn 3 wide this early in the race.
We are seeing lots of action early on here. It's great to see this side-by-side racing at Texas. These trucks are going at it for your entertainment. 12 laps in. Let's do a quick rundown. Jason Higginbotham up there leading. Well, let's see if he does. Eric Anderson back in the lead.
Yeah, Higginbotham held that lead for just a second. Jerry, we have to wait to do a rundown. There's too much action going on the track right now.
I agree.
Track temperature is up again. It's over 130 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a good battle for the lead. Higginbotham working over the 43 of Eric Anderson right now. Connor Hazel, Mike Stiverson, Cody Meadows, all single file behind them, followed by Nadeau and Bowman side by side, Dusty and Crank side by side, and Ray Richard making up your top 10 right there. All these trucks within half a second of each other, though.
Yeah, they're still bunched up. We got Garrett's back out on track. He had to sit in pits for a while, get some repairs kind of off a little bit. But, excuse me, but the gap between 1st and 25th is only about 4 seconds.
Yeah, we haven't spread out yet, which granted we're only 14 laps into this run, so about halfway through this fuel run. Now is about the time, though, where you'll start to see people that abuse their tires start to fall off. This should be the time where you start seeing the guys that were able to save, make those moves up, see if they can get some momentum into the corner. And as I say that, Kyle's able to make a little bit of a move there on the 08 in front of him of Gary Bowman. Lost it on exit, though, so driving in a little bit too hard. Crank's going to give him a push down the back straightaway here now. They're both about 4 truck lengths behind the 08 and the 8 in front of them.
Yeah, now we're starting to see as those tires wear, the drivers are feeling that their truck is just not responding like they'd like. Now we're into that single file racing you were talking about, Cody. A lot of no battle up front.
Yeah, side-by-side battle for the lead. Higginbotham was finally able to get some momentum off of 3 and 4, dives it into turn 1 deep and is able to clear the 43 of Eric Anderson by 2 truck lengths coming out of turn 2, going into turn 3. He has a 1 to 2 truck length gap here. It looked like the 27 of Connor Hazel thought about going underneath Eric as well, but decided to back out and just maintain his momentum instead. New leader, Jason Higginbotham.
I'm sorry, race fans. We are trying to keep you up on all the action, but it is action everywhere. So we have been going like a pogo stick back and forth here. They've kind of single filed out just a little bit. I say that. It looks like Mike Stiverson's trying to make a move for third place.
Yeah, it's the broadcaster's curse there, Jerry. You say single file, and they immediately pull out and start going too wide halfway through the pack here. Unable to get a little run there. It looks like the outside lane is working in these hot temperatures in 3 and 4. They're able to maintain some momentum there. Connor Hazel just maintaining that momentum, but isn't going to be able to have the bottom line in 1 and 2. Mike's able to stay side by side with him. Misses the bottom, washes up a little bit tight on exit, has to lift and concede that spot, lose that momentum off of the corner. Probably going to tuck back in and see if he can get into the run later on in the race.
Yeah, as these tires wear, it's going to be harder to make a pass on the inside. We saw earlier these trucks went wherever they pointed them. Now that we are 18 laps into a run, we're about halfway through a tank of fuel, and these trucks do not handle quite as well, so making a pass on the bottom gets a little bit harder.
Yeah, as Kyle Nados continues to drop your pole center back down in 8th position now, down 7 spots. Just not able to get the feel that he needs out of the truck, it looks like. Doesn't have any speed on entry, center, or exit, which cost him all the way down the straightaway. He's just starting to hemorrhage spots here. Hopefully it's just him saving tires and there's not a sign of something worse to happen to him.
Yeah, these are fixed setups, so everybody's got the same setup. It's going to be how you drive it. They can do a little bit of, I guess you can call it tuning if you want. They can set their steering ratio. They can set their brake bias. They can, most of what the car handles after 15 laps is really going to be more about what you did to your brake and gas pedals while you were racing.
Right. With these trucks, I don't think there's a lot of braking going on right now. It's more so just the gas pedal and how much you're going to lift or not take it. As we see, looks like Connor Hazel got around Eric Anderson for 2nd place. Eric now being worked over by Mike Stiverson, hoping to take that 3rd position on the bottom in 1 and 2 here. Is able to maintain. Looks like he has a little forward momentum coming off the corner, but isn't able to open it up as much as he'd like. Hopefully he'll be able to finish the pass here in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he's going to have a little draft help from Cody. Cody looks like he's going to go down to the bottom. He does. Now there'll be a question of whether Mike can make this run. Lets his car drift a little bit. Nope, it stays tight, but he's got that draft help from Cody Meadows pushing him down the front stretch.
Yeah, as we're talking about this back here, Jason Higginbottom has driven away, now 1.5 seconds ahead of that battle we were talking about for 2nd and 3rd place. Just driving away from the field. You can tell he could definitely save some tires earlier on in this run. And Connor Hazel, 2nd place, also driving away from Mike Stiverson. He's got a 6/10 lead over Mike Stiverson here. It's a top 2 breakaway. Big gaps in between them and then packed up behind them.
Yeah, Cody Meadows still trying to make the pass on Eric. Looks like he's got that made finally. And then Eric is getting pressure from Gary Bowman. I hear we got a yellow.
Caution's out on the racetrack, Jerry. I don't know what it was. I missed it. But we do have a caution out on the racetrack at lap 23. That's going to make for some interesting strategy here. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened on this caution.
See if we can get a look here. Leroy, car into the wall before and just pushes Leroy all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know who that was that got tight, but it looks like he just got tight on the outside there, bounced off the wall. Nothing he could do. Truck's just, you're just trying to hold on, and Leroy just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, it looks like Ellis.
The 25 of Jonathan Ellis got a little tight off of the corner, just brushed the wall, shot him back down about a lane down the racetrack. Leroy was there, nothing he could do about it.
Yeah, you can see Jonathan had that wheel cranked to the right, but that truck he was along for the ride at that point.
Yeah, just wrong place, wrong time for Leroy there. Unfortunate for him, had some heavy contact with the inside wall. We'll see if he can get that damage fixed and maybe come back out and pick up a few spots maybe. I don't know. It looked like some pretty heavy damage there to that left front.
Yeah, he is in the pits. I did not see if he jumped or if he drove into the pits. Everybody's pitting here. We are 24 laps in. I'm assuming everybody's going to take tires and fuel, but they will not be able to make it the rest of the way without an extra pit. So
Yeah, not without some caution help. Now, some cautions, maybe they're really, really good at saving, but if 30 laps was going to be rough, we're going to be pushing it to try to make it an extra 5 laps on top of that.
yeah,
You have to do 32 or 33 laps on each run. Probably going to go green with about 27 to go, but I don't think you're going to be able to make it on fuel from here.
yeah, this will be interesting to see if some of these trucks lay back a little bit, save fuel. If we get another caution or not, they have the extra tires, so if we get another caution, most likely they will be pitting. So we've got one truck that stayed out, Philip Van Lee. He is our leader for the moment. I'm not sure if he's looking to get a point or if he's just going to pit here, wanted to get that 1 point for leading a lap.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's a little difficult to do under caution to get that point for leading a lap because the field catches up to you so fast. But we'll see. We'll see if he makes that left turn down here. Now, he did pit on that first caution, so he has a little bit more fuel than some of the rest. Yeah, he's going to come down pit road here.
So when we restart, it's going to be Higginbotham, Stuyvesant, Hazel, Cody Meadows, Gary Bowman, Eric Anderson, Kyle Nadeau, Crank Bell, and William Kern.
Yeah, and also Dusty Martin in 10th place. Yeah. Then Judd Danielson in 11th, Ray Richard 12th, Andy Cork in 13th, Alan Ayers up 10 spots in 14th, Chris Dorsey in 15th, Mike Donahue 16th, Brian Dorsey in 17th, Chris Harefield up 16 spots now in 18th, Kevin Fetty in 19th, and Daniel Coblentz in 20th.
Justin Horton, George Cushman, Doug Wysocki, Nathan Dufton, Craig Schroeder, Stephen Music, Paul Turner up 8 spots into 27th, Chris Letts, Dave Gainforth, Jonathan Ellis in 30th.
And then Carter Lawson in 31st, Philip Van Vliet in 32nd, the last car on the lead lap right now. Leroy Coblentz, Garrett Johnston, both in the pits. Looks like Leroy's still getting some damage fixed. Garrett as well. And then John Ross is showing, it doesn't look like he made the start.
He was,
if he did,
in that initial
issues.
wreck.
Yeah, that initial wreck there. Yeah.
Lap 1 incident. And I think he's still kind of in the race, but he has not pulled his truck back out.
Yeah. Just kind of sitting in the pits right now. Hasn't taken to the hauler officially, but is not turning laps this time either.
26 laps, lights are still on, so we will probably go green on lap 27, I'm going to guess. So that's going to be, God, they would have to get 31 laps in a stint in order to make it with one more stop. I don't know that they can do that.
Well, as we say that, we got Carter Lawson, Philip Van Vliet at the back of the field coming down to, looks like, top off on fuel here. That may be, if we can go green for the rest of the way, that may help them get, I don't know if they can do 31 or 32 laps, Jerry, but it's going to be a lot closer topping off from here than it would have been.
I just want to point out, how did that caution happen?
Yeah, Jerry, we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about your mind reading or your
so I think
seeing the future or anything
I think
else.
your unit bet should be, maybe 5 cents this week. Mine's going to be $5.
Yeah, we're dropping the unit price. I'm not willing to lose that much money this week, so.
All right, we're getting ready to go green this time around. I think we've seen some really good racing. I'm curious to see whether these guys, these first 5 to 10 laps, are as aggressive as they seemed to be the first time. We saw lots of 2 and 3 wide action, people trying to get to the front. Now fuel strategy is more important than ever. Are we going to see them lay back and cruise, or are they going to be just as aggressive?
Yeah, that's something I don't know. I can't get a temperature for this race to know that right now, but I mean, I think you got to be aggressive if you're at the front right here. Pace truck is off. Green flag is back in the air. Higginbotham gets a really good jump on the bottom there, is able to clear Mike by the start-finish line. Connor Hazel going to have a good run as well. No help at all from Mike Stuyvesant. He's going to lose, looks like, second place and for sure on this restart. He's clear to the bottom now, can make it up from there. Top 3 single file, 2 by 2 behind him.
Yeah, Mike has got that outside, but he's able to get in front of Connor on the outside. He should have momentum coming off of the corner here and be able to take back second place.
Yeah, that's something I'm not used to seeing at Texas Motor Speedway here, the outside lane actually being worthwhile, even in these trucks. But he was able to generate a massive run coming off of turn 2 and maintain his momentum down the backstretch. Connor's actually going to lose another spot to Cody Meadows here. He's fallen down to 4th. Looks like top 5 now single file. Eric Anderson in 5th. Jason Higginbotham in the lead, but is getting some pressure from Mike Stiverson, who is about a quarter of a truck off of his bumper right now.
You can see it here. Looks like most everybody's single file for quite a ways. Oh, wreck in the back.
I don't
Somebody
see a yellow
was
on
in
the
the
track
wall.
yet.
Yeah, that was not sure if that was. Yeah, that was Chris Harefield. 18 was in the wall. Did not. It looks like he may have. It didn't involve any other trucks. Just got in the wall, slowed down, and dropped back to 8.
Oh, they're going to be
20.
3 wide here for 6th place, 7th place. The 31 backs out of it, thinks better of it going into turn 3 and 4, but they were 3 wide for a minute down the backstretch. Kyle Nadeau on the outside. The 08 of Gary Bowman on the inside. William Kern was the one thinking of making it 3 wide. Thought better of it. Top 6 are still single file. William Kern looking to make some aggressive moves here. Gets a little bump to the 08 in the center of the corner. He's able to collect it up, though. Like I said, being a little bit aggressive here.
He's just saying, hey, I'm here. Get out of my way. If you want to save fuel, you save fuel. I'm looking to run to the lead.
Yeah, 1.5 aren't usually the place where you want to use the chrome horn, but I mean, usually you'll see that more at short tracks, and we saw plenty of it last week at Bristol. Continuing that this week here at Texas Motor Speedway, you've got a battle for the lead. Mike Stiverson's able to get to the inside of Jason Higginbotham. See if he can make this inside lane work. They're going to be still side by side on the exit of turn 2. Looks like Mike's going to have some drafting help from his teammate, the 8 of Cody Meadows, underneath him there. Jason Higginbotham's holding strong on the outside with no help whatsoever. Mike's going to have a little bit of forward momentum, but that outside lane just is able to get that run off of the corner and maintain that position. Now actually give it to Mike, leading by a nose at the stripe that time. We'll see if he can make the class complete here in the next couple laps.
I'm not seeing any fuel saving going on here. If they're racing side by side, they are not saving fuel, nor are they saving tires. They are racing for the lead side by side. Mike still trying to make that move stick. He's down to the inside with Higginbotham having the momentum once again on the outside.
Yeah, top 5 or 6 trucks have a little bitty mini breakaway here, about a 5 or 6 truck gap between the Kyle Nadeau here in 7th place. But they are side by side for a couple different rows here. Crank Bell up to 4th, trying to make something work on this outside lane. Just trying to get a little cleaner air on the nose of his truck there. Mike's still trying to work over Higginbotham, but unable to make anything work on that bottom, and just hoping that Jason's tires wear out running that higher lane around the track.
Yeah, we're focused on these leaders because they're still side by side, but Crank Bell up 10 spots has made his way to 4th, looking to make it 3rd, passing Cody Meadows here at the line, or trying to make that pass stick.
Yeah, front 4 are going to be about a quarter second away from the other cars. The 8 and the 14 are going to have a little contact in the middle of the corner there.
Crank Bell
Everybody
trying to
maintains
hold
it.
him low. I think
Yeah,
Crank's
Cody was
famous for
having
that.
nothing. Yeah, Cody was having nothing of it, though, and just kind of rode him, used him up in the middle of the corner. But we'll see if that did any damage to either of those trucks. Mike's going to finally, it looks like, be able to clear. No, Jason Higginbotham still has a quarter there on his outside. Hopefully this next turn able to dive it in and clear him. He's going to clear him by a truck length. Jason's going to get in the bottom and fall in line here. Cody's the first car side by side with Crank battling for 3rd position.
Is it possible to battle side by side and still save fuel and tires?
I mean, maybe if you're a better driver than I am, Jerry, but I sure as heck can't do it.
Yeah, I don't see how it's possible. I mean, you'd be better off just pushing hard for a lap and getting in front of one or the other and then saving, but I don't know how you can do it side by side. So we talked about trying to make it 31 laps, really needing to probably save. These guys up front are not saving anything.
No, not at all. So really, realistically, we were told that 30 laps was going to be pushing it. And they're going to have to make it to lap 59 to be able to make 31 laps to the end. I'm not sure that anybody's going to be able to do that, but look who's in the back here. You got Carter Lawson, Philip Van Vliet, who both pit under that on the coming to one to go to try to packet just a little bit more fuel in there. They might be able to squeeze this out.
Absolutely. So if you are, what we just talked about Carter Lawson. I am not sure. Let's see if we can see what happened here. No
Yeah,
yellow.
I'm not sure. I see what happened. I'm gonna guess got a little push loose off of 4.
Oh no,
went through
he
the
got
infield
some
grass
help from
there.
the 09. 09 got into the wall and just slammed Carter down into the infield.
That's a tough break for Carter, but that's what happens sometimes whenever you're in the back of the soup, just so many trucks around, so much dirty air. Sometimes you can't help it.
No yellow though. They are still racing.
Still green flag on the track. The 31 is going to using that high line to some advantage with Connor Hazel here. 31's generating some big runs off of the corner, off of 2 and off of 4, trying to make a pass work on this 27. 27 is going to go in aero blocking though, take that momentum away as they're both trying to fight with Crank here for 4th.
So we're 40 laps in, five more to halfway. So, Cody, if you can't make it 31 laps, and I don't think they can, but we'll see. If you can't make it 31 laps, do you still kind of run it dry, or do you just say, okay, I'm going to have to pit twice, I'm going to split it in the middle, or do you say, I'm going to run it dry and then just come in for a splash of fuel?
I think that depends on how you think it's going and what you think is going to happen. If it feels like there's going to be cautions, you run it dry, 100%. If you're already, look at, Mike, who's in the lead right now for sure, but he already has a couple wins in his book. He's second in points behind Carter, who's having a rough day today. I think if you're someone like Mike, you take that risk. You're not going to lose a whole lot by pitting and splitting it early, and it's probably going to be the winning strategy based on tire fall off. I'm showing their best laps are a 30.8 in these trucks, and they're already almost a second of fall off now after 15 laps of green flag racing. So I think if you can mitigate that fall off, take those tires. Now you're not going to have any for the end. You're going to use up everything you have. But if we stay green, it'll probably be the winning move.
Yeah. See, I think you're right. I think that I don't think if I were in the truck, I wouldn't plan on another caution. I think everybody's kind of spread out now, a little more single file. People are trying to save a little bit. So I would not plan on a caution. I'd just do what I think was my fastest pit strategy and not worry about the cautions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same way whenever you're building a setup or something. You don't build a setup for dirty air. You build it for clean air because that's your goal, is to be out front and be in clean air. The same way with pit strategy. You don't plan on a caution coming out because it may never come out. And then you cost yourself time and lap track position whenever you don't need to. But it all comes with a trade-off. Those that'll run this dry will end up having an extra set of tires if they get a late caution. Whereas if you come and split this evenly, you're going to be out on old tires. And that second of fall off isn't going to help you one bit. You're going to drop like a rock as soon as the green flag flies.
Here we've got Crank in 5th, Kyle in 6th. Kyle looks like he's probably saved his tires a little bit, learned from that first run. He's hanging in there in 6th place. Well, maybe looking to make a move. Nope, just running a little bit different line. Let's see. Nope, he's going to go down underneath Crank, looking to make a pass for 5th place.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good battle back here for 18th position, it looks like, as well. Brian Dorsey, Daniel Koblenz, Doug Wasaki, all here fighting for that 17th, 18th position. There's about 5 or 6 trucks underneath a blanket, too wide back here, further back in the field. Looks like Wasaki's able to clear the rest of the trucks and now drive away.
Kyle looking underneath Connor here, as I say, trying to take 4th place. He's side by side coming across the start finish, heading into turn 1. Kyle's going to have the inside, looking to make that pass stick.
Yeah, Daniel Koblenz, Justin Horton still side by side back here for 20th and 21st in that group I was talking about. You can tell the tires are starting to wear. Trucks aren't handling like they want. Trucks aren't handling like they want anymore. As Daniel Koblenz runs wide on the exit of turn 2, it's able to give Justin Horton on the inside a little bit of momentum here, side by side for a couple rows deep here. Trading positions back here in the middle of the pack.
So we are on lap 47. We've reached our halfway point. I forget, which lap did they pit? They pit on 24.
24 was where they pit. So it looks like 30 laps would be 54. A couple of those were under caution. I think we went green at 27. So maybe 56, maybe lap 57. I think that's going to be pushing it pretty hard. Looks like Philip Van Vliet is going to be your first truck that came in and topped off with fuel back in 25th place. He's going to have to be doing some heavy saving there. Doesn't seem to be making up a lot of ground, but isn't losing any ground either. So it's quite possible he's back there maybe lifting a little bit, coasting into the corner, hoping that he can make this strategy work and make it on one more stop.
Yeah, it looks like these guys are going to stick it out and run this tank dry.
Well, you say that. The 25 of Ellis just called out that he's going to be coming in to take a pits. Coming into the pits here from, looks like 28th position. He called that he's pitting this time. Garrett Johnson came to the pits as well. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of, I don't know if Garrett's maybe getting some damage fixed, though he was involved in that earlier incident. Ellis maybe the same thing.
He had a little bit of lockup. I think he got it slowed down in time. Sometimes you don't want to go with that first green flag pit because some of these guys may not have practiced those pits and may cause a yellow pitting under green.
Yeah, and some of these tracks are really sensitive to a car just off on the apron. It's really easy to miss this pit road here. It's a quick pit road. We got more takers coming to pit road now. Chris Dorsey now in the pits.
Eric Anderson putting his left tires on the grass to make the pass. I don't know if he's trying to cool them off or just shorten the way around, but he does make the pass for 8th place over William Kern.
And as we were talking back here, Jason Higginbotham was able to get back around Mike Stiverson for the lead. Jason Higginbotham back in the lead. Mike Stiverson, Cody Meadows, Kyle Nadeau, and Gary Bowman, your top 5. Looks like we got a lot of trucks coming to pit road now. We got 4 or 5 or 6 of them coming in the back of the pack right now.
Oh yeah, you can see in the background there. It looks like everybody made it in safe.
Yeah, Piers, looks like some of our leaders are coming in as well. 43 of Eric Anderson calling that he's going to be coming to pit road this time. So it looks like these guys are doing what we said and splitting it evenly here and not worrying about saving that set of tires. I guess they feel like it's been clean enough that it's going to go green the rest of the way. We'll see for sure.
Higginbotham, your leader in the pits. Mike Stiverson is now in the lead, up 4 spots. Let's see if he comes in and pits this lap.
Yeah, he's going to be in the lead, but I think he's coming this time. Mike is coming this time, as well as the 8 as well. So teammates here a little bit apart, coming to pit road at the same time. Let's see if they have any incidents or anything.
We'll see him coming on the screen here shortly.
Oh, Mike got loose, but I think he was able to make it. Big wiggle out of him coming on the pit road, but looks like he got it down in time. I'm not seeing anything come up. Doesn't look like there's any black flags. We do have a couple black flags on the track. See, is that Jason Higginbotham that had a black flag as well?
Oh no, yes, he is back in the pits. I don't know if he must have got caught speeding on exit.
Yeah, it looks like he's been sitting in his pit stall for 36 seconds. I'm going to bet that he got caught speeding on entry, Jerry. I'm not even sure he's made it back out of the pits yet.
Oh, that puts William Kern is our leader. He is not pitting this time, followed by Dusty Martin, who is pitting. Craig Schroeder, Justin Horton, Kevin Fetty are your top 4 right now.
Yeah, that was a bad pit stop for Mike Stiverson. He lost 2 spots there on pit road at 2 seconds longer in his box. I'm not sure if he missed it. The entire pit road time was 2 seconds different. Cody Meadows was able to get out around him. They're going to blend back on the track here in 13th position. But again, there's still some vehicles that haven't pit yet on the track. Looks like our top 7 have yet to come to pit road. One of those being Philip Van Vliet, who is, as we said, came and topped off that last caution. We'll see if he can make it probably going to need to make another 4 or 5 laps to be able to make this on one more stop.
That would be impressive. He was saving. He did top off. Let's see how that happens, how that plays out. Yeah, Jason Higginbotham is in 30th place now. That speeding penalty just killed his momentum in this race. He's a guy looking for a yellow.
Yeah, I'm riding along right now with Philip Van Vliet. It doesn't look like he's clutch saving or anything, but he's not driving as hard as he could be. He's definitely doing a full lift into the corner. Not sure if he would have to at this time or not, but he is letting it roll the center of that corner, lifting early, trying to save as much fuel as he can, see if he can make this on one more stop.
Nathan Dufton, Chris Letts in the pits. That means our top 5 are the only ones still out. Lap 56. They're going to need to go another at least 3 laps, I think, to make it.
Yeah, I think you've got to make it to, you got to pit on lap 59. Now, if you pit coming to 59, on 58 coming to 59, I'm not sure you can make it from there. But, man, it's going to be close. I don't know if the likes of William Kern's coming this time, so he's not going to be able to make it. Was just hoping to maybe get a caution and trap a lot of these vehicles a lap down. It's the only 4 cars right now on the lead lap. Looks like he's going to make it to pit road okay. The 60 as well, who was running in 3rd, is coming to pit road. Leaves Justin Horton, it looks like, is going to take over the lead. Philip Van Vliet's going to come up and cycle into 2nd. Still needs to make it a couple more laps, though, to be sure to make it on fuel.
Oh, Justin way up high. I don't know if he's just trying to stay out of everybody's way or just really having problems controlling that truck. Nice to see him get out of the way of cars passing by. He doesn't always do that.
73 is on lap 58, coming to lap 59, is pitting this lap. So I think he's going to try to make it on one more stop. That's going to be 60 or 31 laps he's going to have to do. But if he has to clutch save, he's going to save so much time just not coming down pit road again. Pit lane time for most of these vehicles was 42 seconds. He can lose almost a second a lap for this run and still come out ahead of these guys.
That's going to put your battle for the lead right up here. Cody Meadows, Kyle Nadeau, Mike Stiverson, Gary Bowman, Crank Bell, all battling. They're all within, less than a second of each other.
Yeah, I think Mike's a little mad at himself. I don't know if he missed his box or whatnot, but losing those 2 spots on pit road put Kyle in 2nd, chasing down Cody Meadows. These are guys we're used to seeing up at the front here. We're just not used to seeing them make mistakes like Mike did coming to pit road. But he's trying to make the best of it now with one more stop left to go for this race. Currently running lap 59, finishing that right now. Going to be starting lap 60, have 31 laps to go.
Jason Higginbotham. Yeah, Jason Higginbotham is now a lap down. The guy who was leading this race throughout, or in challenging for the lead, or leading throughout the first half of the race. Little mistake in pit road. That's put him 1 lap down. Carter Lawson, our points leader, in 28th.
Yeah, luckily for him, he is a lap down, but he's currently the lucky dog until they catch Carter, which the aid of Cody Meadows in the lead is currently doing at a fairly rapid pace. I think that damage from the earlier incident with Carter is not helping him at all. We'll do a quick rundown, though. Cody Meadows, your current leader, followed by Kyle Nadeau and Mike Stiverson, all within half a second of each other. Gary Bowman there as well. Crank Bell, your top 5. 8/10 separates those top 5. Alan Ayers in 6th place, up 18 spots from where he started. Eric Anderson in 7th. Dusty Martin in 8th. Judd Danielson in 9th. And Chris Dorsey rounds out your top 10.
11th place is Mike Donahue, Ray Richer, Brian Dorsey, Doug Wysocki, William Kern, Daniel Koblitz, Paul Turner, Andy Cork in 18th, Craig Schroeder, and Jonathan Ellis in 20th.
Yeah, Nathan Dufton in 21st, Kevin Fetty in 22nd, Dave Gainforth 23rd, Chris Harefield 24th, Philip Van Vliet on that alternate pit strategy, we believe, just got passed by Justin Horton. They're running 25th and 26th, the last 2 trucks on the lead lap. Now your first truck 1 lap down is Steven Music, Carter Lawson, Jason Higginbotham in 29th, and Connor Hazel in 30th.
Chris Letts, George Cushman, Garrett Johnson's back in the pits, getting some more damage fixed. Leroy Koblitz, John Ross make up the back of the field. All those trucks had damage and are laps down.
Yeah, involved in some incidents there. Still, we've got a pretty decent battle for the lead here and a big gap behind them. So top 5 trucks are within 8/10 of a second of each other, but they are 5 seconds clear of 5th place. But that battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th and 9th is heating up. Alan Ayers, Eric Anderson, Dusty Martin, Judd Danielson all nose to tail here as Eric peeks his nose to the outside. Is not able to do anything with it, though. Going to try to tuck back in line, but he's getting pressure from Dusty behind. This is a good battle back here for 6th through 9th.
Yeah, Alan Ayers up 18 spots, leading this group right now. Let's see if he can save some tire and hold on to that lead for that group. Looks like he is getting a challenge from Judd Danielson.
Yeah, it looks like it. He came in a lap earlier, so he's got 1 lap older tires, and that means a lot in these trucks sometimes. But just hoping he can tuck in side by side behind him is the best thing he can see right now. Hoping to drive away a little bit, but still a good run for our opening or season opener race winner this season. Very good run for Alan.
Crank Bell, 5th place, just being patient and following line. Look at these top 5, just nose to tail, just settled down. Kyle in 2nd place. He made his way past Mike, Cody Meadows, and Crank showing incredible patience here, just trying to get this pack of 5 cars out in front of everybody else.
Yeah, seeing some good battles even further back in the field. Just watch Doug Wasaki take a position from Brian Dorsey for 14th here. You can start to see these 1 or 2 lap fresher tires, older tires, and who saved them. It's starting to make a big tire advantage for some of these guys, able to move through the field pretty easily, it seems like now.
Yeah, these passes we're seeing are typically now 1 corner instead of taking a lap or 2 to make that pass stick.
Yeah, but we've got trucks that have pit anywhere from lap 49 all the way to lap 57, 58 on the track right now. So there's a big tire disparity. 10 laps on tires here is a big difference. So we've already seen best lap times of 30.7s falling off to 31.9s for the last laps for the leaders. Some of these other trucks in the field, though, 31.7s for a couple trucks that pit a little bit later. I'm trying to look at Philip Van Vliet running 32.08. I think he's saving fuel still. He's my pick to make this alternate strategy work. It seems like he knows what he's doing. He pit on the lap we targeted. Let's see if he can make this work out to the end or not if we stay green.
Judd Danielson fell, he was part of that battle, fell back a little. That puts Eric Anderson right behind Alan Ayers in this battle for 6th place. 4 wide in the background.
Now, they're starting to catch up to Crank Bell, who's fallen off of the lead pack a little bit along with Gary Bowman. Alan was like 5 or 6 seconds behind, and now he's only 4.6 seconds behind Crank Bell. I'm not sure if Eric's giving him a little push and helping him down there, or if Alan maybe cooled the tires off enough to get a run, but he's starting to catch back up to Crank Bell here for 5th place.
I think we've got a lap car in between these 2 groups, behind Crank and in front of Alan. That gap's 5 seconds, though. We're talking about Alan in 6th place, Crank Bell. There's just under 5 second difference between them. Here you can see Crank, and then barely in the background you'll see a lap truck and a long straightaway back to Alan Ayers.
Yeah, I believe that lap truck is Jason Higginbotham. It appeared to me looking from the paint scheme. Top 5 are still nose to tail.
And Gary Bowman looking to make a move around the outside. Mike?
97, 8, and 20 are coming to pit road this time.
I was going to say, wow, they've carried momentum.
I could tell why he looked that way, Jerry. I happened to have the race comms on and was able to listen to him coming to pit road. That's going to put them with 29 laps to go, or 19 laps to go. I can't do math right now. 14 is going to cover that as well and come to pit road. We'll see if Mike can maybe make up for his bad pit stop the time before, maybe gain those positions back.
Crank coming in. Looks like Gary Bowman. Oh, Gary Bowman looks like he kind of made a last-minute decision. Crank locks it up. I don't know if he got it slowed down in time.
I'm not seeing a black flag come up right now, but it looks like, Kyle Nadeau is going to be able to jump Cody Meadows on the pit entry there, on pit exit there. This should be your battle for the lead, barring Philip Van Vliet in the 73 able to make it on fuel. But looks like Kyle was able to jump around Cody, but Cody's not going to have anything of it. Went to draft him a little bit and decided to pull out a line and try to make the pass going into turn 3, generate a little bit of momentum back there. He's going to have a run coming off of 4. He's going to try to pass Kyle here in turn 1. He's going to be at his inside corner side by side. Now this should be what would be the race for the lead. They're going to be splitting lap cars 3 wide. There's a lot of momentum here. Cody's going to try to make a pass on the apron on the bottom. 3 wide right there. This is crazy coming through the pack.
Oh, this is great. I love it. This is the battle for the lead. Hopefully,
I think Mike has decided to just sit back here a little bit and make his way through traffic a little easier. They're going to have a tough time coming through some of these trucks, though. Like, this is going to be an interesting battle. It's who's going to make it through this traffic better is going to be who your leader is.
Well, you said this was a battle for the lead. Crank Bell and Gary Bowman are in front of these guys.
Yeah, they were able to make a better pit stop. I'm glad you called that out, Jerry, because I missed it. We're able to make a better pit stop and stay in front of them somehow.
They pit 1 lap later. That's impressive.
That's impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to have the undercut, to be undercut and let the overcut work when there's over a second of fall off is very impressive. Chris Dorsey now pits from second place. I said William Kern is still staying out. He was one of your last to pit the first time. He's got a 3-second gap over Craig Schroeder. Another 4 seconds on top of Paul Turner after that, and Justin Horton. Philip Van Vliet in 5th place. We think he's going to try to make it to the end from here. We've got a lot of action on the track going on, though. Still trying to work through these older tires. I'm not sure what's going through Kyle's mind right now, seeing that Gary and Crank were able to, as they were going to be 4 wide. Crank decides better of it. Thought about taking it 4 wide there. Ended up deciding that was not the best of ideas. Gary's going to have a little bit of a gap now. Crank lost some momentum. The 97 of Kyle Nadeau is going to come up. These 5 are still nose to tail, just a shuffled up order from what we saw before. What I was trying to say though is what's going through Cody and Kyle's mind. Like we did the thing. We had faster tires for a lap. We had a pretty decent pit stop, we thought. Looking at the times, it doesn't look like anything's too far off, but they were able to jump us on pit road.
Yeah, you got to be thinking, what the heck? I mean, you did everything right. Everything went according to plan, and somehow you still came out behind them. I think maybe they're hoping that's because they short fueled and they may not have enough fuel to make it. I don't know. But at this point, that's done. You got to put that behind you and focus what's on in front of you, which is, I think, 13 laps to go. They've got to make a move, not right now, but it probably with at least 5 to go.
I mean, I don't know what you're going to be able to do. I'm not sure. You know, I thought that maybe Philip was going to be able to work this out, but it looks like Gary Bowman's only 8 seconds behind him and is running about 1.5 seconds a lap faster. So I don't know that this is going to work out for a win for Philip, but it's definitely going to put him track position wise much better off than what he thought than where he was going to be. If he can make it on fuel the rest of the way here, now currently running 4th, he's probably going to cycle out to 6th place. He's going to be the first vehicle behind that group of Gary Bowman all the way through to Mike Stiverson here.
Yeah, right now we've got our leader is William Kern, Craig Schroeder, Justin Horton, Philip Van Vliet, Chris Harefield, and then Gary Bowman. Gary is the first of the guys that have pit. We know they don't have to pit unless they made a pit mistake. So he's got 5 trucks in front of him that probably still have to pit. We'll see.
At least 4 of those have to pit. I'm looking at the times, and Craig Schroeder, William Kern, and Chris Harefield pit on lap 56, 57, and 53, respectively. Chris Harefield for sure cannot make it on fuel. That'd be like a 37-lap run or whatever. William Kern, depending on how much he saved, might be able to. Justin Horton pit on 58 along with Philip, might be able to. But it's going to be really tight for those guys to be able to make it on fuel. I think Philip's going to be your best bet to make it on fuel from here.
And Philip's
I'm pretty sure the other 4 are going to have to pit.
Oh, I was going to say, Philip's got some help here with some draft help on fuel saving. He's got Connor in front of him, but Connor's not having any of it. Connor's going to the bottom and saying, pass me, man. I'm not helping you out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with him. Looks like he had to spend a long amount of time in the pits, maybe a speeding penalty that last time. Was contending up front for the lead earlier in this race, but now showing the first car 1 lap down. Just another pit mistake. It looks like had a 55-second pit time there. Like we said, green flag pit stops can make or break your race, and it looks like it's broken it for a couple people today.
9 to go, and Philip has a 3-second lead over Gary Bowman. You'll see Gary Bowman there in the background now, along with Crank Bell, Kyle, Cody, Mike.
Yeah, William Kern's still 16 seconds ahead of Philip there. Think he has to make another stop, but don't know if he was able to save enough fuel there in the back of the pack. He might be able to make it as well. It's going to be interesting. Laps are ticking down here for sure. At 16 seconds, looks like 14-second stop for 4 tires and fuel. You're probably going to look at about 5 to 8 seconds. It's going to put your pit lane time 30 seconds. That'll put him back in 13th or 14th position if he does have to make a pit stop.
Still put him up from where he started. Not a bad overall finish. The strategy just not panning out maybe like he would, and I think we've got some guys hoping for a yellow.
Yeah, I think right now, if you are the likes of William Kern, Craig Schroeder, you're kind of just hoping for a yellow right now so you can cycle out to the front ahead of the guys that have been fast all day long, put some fresh tires on it, and fight it out for a green-white checker. But right now, William Kern still is maintaining that position, but the gap is closing between Philip and Gary. Now, about a second and a half separates the two of them, as we've got 6 to go, 5.5 to go. It'll be 6 to go or 5 to go at the line. Again, I can't do math, Jerry.
So here we are with Philip Van Leet. Now that's a 1.5 seconds. You can see Gary Bowman there in the background. They're on fresher tires. They're not saving fuel. They are coming fast.
Yeah, it looks like I put it on most exciting, and right now it shows William Kern as our leader as the most exciting thing on track. I'm not sure if I believe that or not, but right now just following William Kern around, seeing when he's going to make that left turn down pit road and what he's going to do with that, or if he's able to save the fuel to come. He's got 4 seconds to the second place car and 12 seconds to Justin Horton in third, who is looking like he's heavy saving fuel trying to make it to the end. William might be able to make this on fuel with some heavy fuel saving, but I don't know. It's going to be close, Jerry. We just started lap 87, 4 to go. I don't know if he's going to have 4 laps of fuel or not.
Craig Schroeder going in the pits, one of those that had stayed out. You're seeing Gary Bowman catching up with our third place, Philip Van Leet. Gary Bowman to Crank Bell is now a 0.5 second. Kyle's now 1 second behind Crank. So the top 5, while they were running nose to tail, have really spread out, but the order has remained the same. Gary, Crank, Kyle, Cody, Mike. Oh,
yeah, I think
Philip gets loose in front of Gary, saves it. Gary goes around to the outside, should make this pass no problem, along with passing Justin Horton.
Yeah, I'm riding along with William Kern. He is clutch saving into turn 1. He's not into turn 3. He's got a couple trucks on fresher tires behind him here, but he's just kind of riding along here. We're going to have 2 to go at the line. I think he's going to try to make this work.
Gary Bowman having a little bit of a battle to get around Horton. Crank almost having to go 3 wide.
A little contact with our leader there. He was 3 wide trying to let these trucks pass him as he's clutch saving fuel. He's still got plenty of time. He's got 14 seconds. He's got plenty of time to save whatever he needs. We're going to be coming to the white flag this time. He's in 3 and 4 and has a massive lead over Gary Bowman in second place here. He wasn't the one I thought was going to be able to make it saving fuel, but he's going to be taking the white flag right now with a half a lap lead, but he is heavy clutch saving into 1. He had that thing clutched and shut off at the start-finish line.
Let's see if he can make it.
Riding on board with him now. He's down on the inside.
Oh, trucks are loose behind him. He needs to stay out of trouble as well.
Jerry, I think he's going to do it.
I think at this point he can.
Oh,
no!
It's stuttering. He's got it. If he can coast to the line, he's got plenty of time. He's out of gas, but he's going to be able to coast to the line.
Wow. He's going to coast to the line with no gas. Gary Bowman here coming to the line. Crank
Justin
Bell.
Horton out of fuel, calling out how to fuel there. William Kern, with a massive strategy call, is able to save the fuel from an extra lap over Philip and bring home the win. Stuttered out of turn 4, got loose, ran out of fuel coming across the line, was able to coast, had a big enough gap to coast across the line. William Kern, followed by Gary Bowman and Crank Bell, your top three. Jerry, I want to go see if I can collect them. You want to run down the rest of the order?
Absolutely, I will. Let me see if I can. I can't bring it up just yet because we've still got trucks finishing, but I will go down that order for our viewers. Looks like here you see William Kern getting a little help from Kyle to get back down to the front stretch. William Kern was our winner, followed by Gary Bowman, Crank Bell, Cody Meadows, Kyle Nadeau, Philip Van Leet in 6th, Mike Stiverson, Dusty Martin, Eric Anderson, Judd Danielson in 10th place. Chris Dorsey, Ray Richer, Alan Ayers in 13th, Brian Dorsey, Andy Cork in 15th, Daniel Koblentz, Justin Horton in 17th, Nathan Dufton, Paul Turner, Kevin Fetty in 20th, Doug Wysocki, Craig Schroeder, Mike Donahue, Jonathan Ellis, Dave Gainforth in 25th. 26th is Chris Harefield. Jason Higginbotham really running well at the beginning. We know about his pit troubles, ended up 27th. Carter Lawson, your points leader, 28th. Stephen Music, 29. Chris Letts in 30. Some of the guys that had some trouble, George Cushman, 31. Connor Hazel, 32. Leroy Koblentz, 33. Garrett Johnson and John Ross in 35th.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jerry. I caught up with our third place finisher tonight, Crank. Crank, you got a copy?
Hey, yeah, I got you, Cody.
Well, hey, man, it's good to talk to you here for a change. Looks like you got a pretty good third place finish here. We didn't know if the fuel strategy was going to work. It looks like William Kern was able to eke that out, but you guys got around the guy we thought about, Philip Van Vliet. You and Gary were able to jump Kyle, Cody, and Mike in the pits there. How did you manage to pull that off? Manage to pit a lap later and come out ahead of him?
I think if you go back and watch our entry, it's because we came in like 300 miles an hour and locked it up. Both just slid across the line. So we were really lucky that we didn't get a penalty.
Well, hey, I mean, if it's stupid but it works, is it really that stupid? That seems like that was a perfect pit entry, not a mistake or anything else, because it worked out for you. I saw you chasing down Gary Bowman, trying to have something for him, but it looks like he was able to just hold you off. But other than that, how did your race go?
Yeah, it was a pretty good race all the way around. I mean, I avoided that very early caution there. They spun in front of me, and after that, it was just clear sailing. I got by maybe 3 or 4 or 5 guys there, I think, on the track. And then, like you said, me and Gary came in on a heater and beat the WTF guys out on the pits.
Yeah, well, it's good to see you up here again. Good to talk to you finally this year. We're used to seeing you up front. You've had some hard luck this year, but hopefully this will be the turning point in your season. I'll go ahead and turn the floor over to you. Let you do your shout outs, give thanks to whoever you want to, say hi, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, thanks, Cody. Yeah, thanks to my teammates that I ran with out there. Thanks to Gary running me a clean race, give me a little bit of space there early. Sponsors, T-Rex Express, K-Bar and Grill, and want to say hi to my new fans, Brandon and Mookie out there. So appreciate you guys put the broadcast on.
Well, we appreciate you, Crank. Thanks again. Crank Bell, third place finisher, up 11 spots from where he started. Jerry, I think you may have caught up with our second place driver. Did you get him?
I did not, but I will. Gary Bowman, second place. We're going to talk about that finish in a minute, but I got to ask you first, how do you feel how you feel about a second place finish tonight?
It's pretty good. I'd much rather have first, but I tried everything I could. William just snookered me, so yeah, he saved some fuel, I guess.
Well, he didn't have much fuel. He came across the line empty. But before we get to that, so you were having a heck of a battle with Kyle, Mike, Cody, and they pit. Were you planning to stay out longer, or was your pit a reaction to theirs?
Yeah, I wanted to go one more lap because I knew I could carry more speed in with nobody in front of me. So I would have been fourth in line, and I didn't want to take a chance on that. So.
Well, you did certainly that. You came out in front of them because of that speed you carried in. We saw Crank have to lock it up. Were you worried about speeding going in there into entry?
Oh yeah, I was looking for the black flag for speeding because I thought for sure I was gonna catch one because I that was the fastest I've ever made it in without getting a flag. So
Well, that was impressive. When you came out, we were very impressed that you made it out ahead of those guys. But let's move on then to the end of the race. Once you were in front of those guys, we had no idea about William Kern. We were thinking maybe Van Leet or Horton or somebody was the one saving fuel. They pit a little later. Who were you looking at that you felt like you needed to beat that was going to try and save fuel?
actually, I was keeping an eye on Crank because I didn't think anybody up in front of me was gonna be able to make it. So I was just eyeballing Crank behind me, not letting them get too close, and trying to save a little bit of tire. But yeah, apparently, yeah, William did a great job.
Yeah, he was actually, I think, had his motor turned off on the backstretch and was saving like crazy. So that strategy worked out for him. It was a good call, but a second place finish for you ought to help you quite a bit in points. Great finish, not a win, but still a great finish. I'm going to turn it over to you, let you say thank you or hi to any of your fans.
All right, thanks, Jerry. Hey, first off, gotta say thanks to Cyber Thunder Racing League. They do a great job, and Mike handles everything well and keeps everybody happy. And big shout out to my lovely wife and my mom who watches every once in a while. And was back at the shop. We're working on some stuff this week and put in a lot of laps, and they helped me out, so it paid off.
Awesome, man. Well, good talking to you again. Hope we talk to you in the coming weeks. Gary Bowman, our second place finisher tonight.
All right, thanks, Jerry.
And then, Cody, I think you caught up with our strategy winner tonight.
I did. Hey, William, Cody and Jerry up in the broadcast booth. You got us.
Yes, I do.
Well, man, you came out of nowhere, even to us who thought we had the strategy. Tell me, how did you manage to pull 33 laps, I believe, out of that tank of fuel to come home with the win tonight?
Well, let's not tell any of the other drivers or anything, but I had some of that Bully Dog coffee in that gas tank of mine.
Well, whatever it is, Bully Dog Coffee apparently runs better than the normal Sunoco race fuel they put in these things. Because we thought for sure with you pitting on lap 57 that there was going to be no way you were going to be able to make it to the end. We thought Phillip was going to be the first car that was going to be remotely close to making it on fuel. Maybe Justin Horton as well. But I started watching with the 3 or 4 laps to go. You didn't seem like you were doing anything at all. Talk me through those last few laps and what you were watching behind you as you were coming to the checkered flag.
Well, I can tell you right now, ever since the beginning of the last run, I pit kind of late. I only had about 3/10 of a tank left when I pit the last time, so I stretched it as pretty much as far as I could, knowing I wasn't gonna get a probably top 5 tonight. Everybody was really good up front. I felt like I was good too, but this track is not easy to pass on. I didn't feel like I had a top 5 truck tonight with the competition I had out there. So before I even made that last stop, I was already in fuel saving mode, and I saved a little bit on the first run, or I'm sorry, the last run there. And then when the last run came out, I was clutching from pretty much the very beginning in 1 and 2, lightly hitting the gas on 3 and 4. I was in full fuel save mode. That was the only way I was going to get a top 5 tonight. To win it is I'm still astounded by it, to be honest with you. Last lap, coming to 3, I felt like I had it, and then I almost got turned coming out of 4 because I ran out of fuel. No fault on his. I just ran out of power. Caught it, and I couldn't believe I coasted it to win this.
Well, hey, not only did you coast it to win, that little moment in 3 and 4, you still had 11.7 seconds to spare. Won by 11.7 seconds. A great strategy call. I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to you and let you get your thanks. Talk to whoever you want out there.
Honestly, I'd like to say thanks Cyber Thunder for putting on one heck of a show tonight. You guys for being up here in the broadcast booth. I very much appreciate that. Get my family time to watch me win this race tonight. Bully Dog Coffee Company on the hood. I'd like to thank them as a primary sponsor. If you love coffee as much as I do, they're the place to go. They make some amazing coffee. Carter Racing Paints. He puts together some really good paint jobs for me on all my vehicles, trucks, Cup, Xfinity. Like to thank him. And then Al Ayers, owner of BTR Racing. BTR is really killing it out there this season. All three leagues.
Well, absolutely. Shame you don't have any fuel left to do a burnout on the front straightaway, but that truck looks pretty good parked right there across the start finish line. William Kern, congratulations. Your winner tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much. First win in the trucks, actually, so I'm very excited. Third win this season.
Well, even better. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk to you more in the coming weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Last week at Bristol, I thought I had it, ran out. So to bring a win this week is really boosted the confidence, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, William, we hope you have a good night, and hope we talk to you again in the weeks to come.
Yes, sir. You too.
Wow, Cody, what a race tonight. I don't know. I could tell you what I was expecting, but this has been a fun, exciting race. We saw side-by-side racing, three-wide racing. We saw strategy calls. We saw pit action, lots of green flag racing. I had a lot of fun.
I did too. You know, I can sympathize with William. I think I won my first truck race here the same way, saving fuel. But to be able to get, whenever we were told 30 laps of fuel was as most as you could go, and to be able to get 33 laps out of that final tank of gas, that's a very impressive win, and shows a lot of skill in that driver.
A lot of skill and a lot of commitment. You heard him saying from the get-go he was saving, he was clutching. That's commitment right there. I always love it when I see a strategy play work out.
Absolutely, Jerry. Well, we're going to be leaving Texas next week, heading to Nashville Super Speedway. Little concrete track, a little smaller than this. It's going to be slippery off those corners and everything. How you thinking next week's going to look?
I think it's going to be a fun race as well. Hopefully we can keep those yellows down to 1 or 2 like tonight. Have a lot of good racing. All you folks out there, you tune in and check it out. Should be a great show. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Rising Stars on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. Thursday night, Cup Cars are racing. I think we're on the Extreme TV network for that race. All the exciting action at the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. Subscribe if you haven't. Cody, it's been a fun night. I think you need to make sure you keep those gambling to a minimum this week. Maybe crank it up again next week. But
or maybe I just ask you for all the picks that I need to make.
Well, there you go. I think I've helped you out. I think I'm in the plus side on some comments and advice.
You've helped me more than I'd like to admit, Jerry.
But but likewise, I don't talk much because I like to be sure, and so as sure as you can be, right?
Exactly. Well, Jerry, I'm glad we're out of here in a lot less time than we were last week at Bristol. We can put that behind us. We had a great race here at Texas, and I'm ready to move on to next week. How about you?
I absolutely am. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. We will talk to you next week. See ya.
Have a good night.